I was blessed, to make smart investments, outside the ring, just in the real estate world and a lot of other places that I was able to put my family in a position that, I took the long road so they could take the short road. So
his accountants and lawyers screwed up, so the tax court said, hey, you were too late appealing this. You got to pay us back all the tax plus penalties plus interest. Moral of the story, pay attention to the deadlines on the IRS.
Read it, the real condensed version of it. What happened here?
Well, so Floyd Mayweather wants his dream house, and he was looking at a $139 million property in the hills of Bel Air.
Floyd Mayweather has publicly pushed back against rumors claiming that he is bankrupt and burdened by a massive IRS debt. Addressing the speculation, he characterized the reports as attempt to undermine his reputation and dismiss the accusations, stating that everyone is free to have their own opinions. He went on to defend his financial position by pointing to the lifestyle he continues to maintain. Mayweather references private jets, extensive real estate holdings, and financial freedom as evidence that the rumors do not reflect reality. His response conveyed both confidence and frustration, as he sought to counter the ongoing speculation and reinforce the message that he remains successful, financially secure, and firmly in charge of the wealth and legacy he has built throughout his career.
Portfolios, because I don't know the exact number, because they said if you know how much money you got, you really don't have no money. So if you know how many buildings you got, you don't really have no buildings. So I think I own right now somewhere upwards of 100 buildings or more. And in, 99% of my buildings are in New York City. Great team, and God has truly blessed me to put me in a position not just to be able to make a lot of money, but also give back, if not just my time, but also financially.
Following continued scrutiny of his finances, Floyd Mayweather became involved in a tax dispute in which he sought relief by arguing that he was unable to immediately satisfy certain tax obligations. However, the IRS rejected his appeal, citing that the filing was submitted after the required deadline had passed. As a result, the request was not accepted, and Mayweather remained responsible for the original tax amount along with additional penalties and related charges. The development further fueled public debate about Floyd Mayweather Jr.'s financial situation, particularly because it appeared to contrast with his public image of immense wealth, luxury properties, private aircraft, and other high-value...
Okay, so Money Mayweather is jabbed by the IRS here. What happened? Well, he took a large S-Corp deduction for legal expense. The merits of that didn't even matter because he missed his appeal deadline of the denial. His accountants and lawyers screwed up, so the tax court said, hey, you were too late appealing this. You got to pay us back all the tax plus penalties plus interest. Moral of the story, pay attention to the deadlines on the IRS letters. Really sad they didn't do it in this case, with considering the armies of lawyers and accountants he has. So pay attention, hit your deadlines on audit, otherwise you're going to lose the appeal.
Floyd Mayweather has repeatedly maintained that he has resolved all outstanding issues with the IRS and fulfilled his tax obligations. However, that position came under renewed scrutiny when the IRS pursued legal action seeking recovery of unpaid amounts, creating a noticeable conflict between his public statements and the agency's claims. The lawsuit intensified questions about the state of Mayweather's finances and whether his tax matters have been fully settled as previously suggested. The case also fueled ongoing debate regarding the management of his substantial wealth and financial responsibilities. As the controversy continued, critics pointed to the legal proceedings as evidence that the situation may have been more complicated than Mayweather's public comments indicated.
Floyd Mayweather is not up to date with the IRS. Shouldn't he be, considering how much money he's made during his career?
Well, in fairness to Mayweather, he did say he's already taken care of this problem. We don't know if that's true or not. We do know that a lien was filed against him by the IRS for back taxes. So let's take a look at what may have happened here. So as an example, when you talk about a boxer specifically having $100 million purse, that's the gross, not the net, because the boxer earns $100 million, and then he has to pay all the people around him and related expenses and so on. So just to kind of go through an example,
Throughout the years, Floyd Mayweather has consistently credited his financial success and public standing to relentless effort and determination. He has rejected accusations questioning his credibility, stressing that everything he has achieved came from years of hard work dedicated to building both his brand and his reputation. Mayweather has also spoken frequently about creating long-term financial stability for his family. He has described wealth building as a key priority, with a strong focus on establishing assets that can benefit future generations. At the same time, these claims of financial strength have continued to draw attention because of recurring reports and speculation surrounding his finances. As a result, questions have persisted about how effectively his earnings have been managed despite the immense success he has enjoyed throughout his career.
I need everybody, all the fighters all around the world, MMA, boxers, follow this man right here. We get the job done. Money make, and y'all know the rest.
Mayweather has spoken publicly in the past about the tax issues he faced in 2015, acknowledging that he was dealing with significant financial obligations at the time. Yet, with similar concerns continuing to attract attention nearly a decade later, critics have questioned whether those matters were addressed as quickly and thoroughly as he has suggested. For many, the ongoing discussion is not about how much money Mayweather has earned, but rather whether his financial responsibilities have kept pace with the scale of his success. As a result, questions surrounding his tax obligations and overall money management have remained a recurring topic of public scrutiny.
He's had these tax questions. He replies to them by showing on Instagram $26 million, a payment he made to the IRS. By the way, nothing makes your tax payment look shadier than when you're just holding up cash.
Right.
That's not a good look for the IRS. Yeah. But he showed his actual, $26 million.
Then just pay him. Like, I don't know why, like, he's mad at the media. It's like, oh, you guys are making things up. No, it's leaked that you asked to pay after this fight. Like, you make all this money. If I was Mayweather, not only would I pay them on time, the IRS, I'd tip them. I'd be like, hey, here's what I owe you. Here's a little bit. Get your.
Although Mayweather has repeatedly stated that he possesses more than enough wealth to satisfy any tax obligations, disputes involving the IRS have continued to attract attention. According to various reports, questions have emerged over whether significant spending on real estate acquisitions and luxury purchases took precedence over resolving outstanding tax matters. As a result, the debate has shifted beyond the size of Mayweather's fortune and toward how effectively those resources are being managed. For some observers, the continued scrutiny suggests that his highly publicized lifestyle and business ventures have become intertwined with broader questions regarding his approach to meeting financial responsibilities.
The government's calling bullshit. They're saying you have the ability to go and sell off property. You have the ability to liquidate some of your assets. You have the ability to go and get a loan to pay off this tax liability. So we're not buying it. So we'll see if this petition does get approved. I mean, it's Floyd Mayweather. It probably will get approved. Seeing as how the event that's going to happen in about 60 days is going to generate more than enough money to pay off that tax liability. So it's great reassurance for the IRS. And this is not the first time that Floyd's been in trouble with the IRS. I mean, back in 2008, he had a $6.17 million lien for taxes that he owed in 2007. Right? And this is just a recurring thing. He's had many other instances. Back in 2011, apparently he owed $3.4 million in taxes that were incurred in 2009. So it just seems that whenever the IRS comes for Floyd comes back for a big fight and uses a portion of the earnings to pay off the IRS. But whatever he's earning is also going to have high taxes placed on that as well. And so the following year or 2 years, he finds himself in the same situation. The money man, TMT. What it doesn't tell you, though, is that it takes money to make money. Right? Back in 2015, the year in question,
Stephen A. Smith, one of the most recognizable voices in sports media, has been outspoken in his assessment of Floyd Mayweather's actions. He admitted that Mayweather was once among his favorite fighters, making his criticism all the more notable. His comments echoed concerns shared by some members of the public, who have questioned whether Mayweather's highly visible luxury lifestyle aligns with the financial and legal challenges that have periodically surfaced over the years. As a result, Smith's remarks became part of a broader conversation about the boxer's public image and the way his financial affairs have been perceived.
You know, kind of sold that. It was great marketing. He's not a boxer, but hey, he was a knockout artist in the UFC. I get it. John Gotti III, I don't know anything about him. I'm not trying to disrespect him. And yes, I'm being smart. I'm not trying to disrespect the grandson of a mobster. Fair enough. But what I'm trying to say is this. When you're great, when you're elite, not just anybody deserves to be in your pristine space. And what I mean by that is I'm not talking about on the street, anything like that. Boxing is your thing.
Floyd Mayweather has frequently highlighted the enormous financial rewards he earned during his boxing career, often pointing to blockbuster events such as his bouts with Manny Pacquiao and Canelo Alvarez. Those fights generated extraordinary revenue, with the 2015 showdown against Pacquiao becoming one of the most lucrative events in boxing history and reportedly contributing hundreds of millions of dollars in earnings. The situation sparked widespread discussion about financial management, with critics questioning how someone associated with such substantial earnings could still encounter significant tax obligations. As a result, the tax dispute became a recurring topic in conversations about Mayweather's finances and the long-term handling of his fortune.
Fighter who fought that night is fighting again, and they say that he's fighting for money. How could that be?
Your team. You know, it's all about who you surround yourself with. I don't know who's his promoter. I gave him the option before. Well, me and Manny spoke before about fighting the first time. I think I offered him, $40 million. I don't know if it was, but I told him I would wire him $20 million within 48 hours. And then at that particular time, he said he wanted 50-50, and he got off the phone. And at that time, I think I was going to make for that fight probably $75 million at that time, somewhere upwards of $75 million. But it's all about timing. Took my time, I waited, we communicated. Our investments leading up to the fight that week, we made somewhere upwards of $30 million cash. And then, you know, for the Canelo fight, smart team, once again, just with those two fights, Canelo and the Pacquiao fight, $400 million, just with those two fights. But it's all, you know, I was blessed. I think luck was on my side. I was blessed. All about timing. I came around at the right time. I was around in the 90s. Before I built my fan base, before all this social media, I had already built a fan base. It wasn't easy.
Floyd Mayweather's rise to extraordinary wealth began under far from ideal circumstances. Growing up, he faced significant challenges, including spending much of his childhood without his father, who was incarcerated for extended periods. Reflecting on those years, Mayweather has often remarked that he largely had to rely on himself while growing up. Although his father was absent for portions of his early life, he still played an important role in shaping Mayweather's approach to the sport. As a former boxer himself, he emphasized the value of discipline, dedication, and maintaining focus, principles that would later become central to Mayweather's success both inside and outside the ring.
Working odd jobs, just trying to make ends meet, mother on drugs, and I beat all odds to get to where I'm at today. So it just wasn't always the nice cars, the flashy jewelry, and a lot of money. So I'm more than just that, you know. I wake up in the morning just like you guys. I take a shower, I put on my clothes just like everyone else. And I try to make a better way for my family every day.
A key trait often associated with Floyd Mayweather is his constant drive for more success and achievement. He has expressed his mindset himself, stating, "It's never good enough," a phrase that reflects his ongoing ambition to keep pushing forward regardless of previous accomplishments. As a result, this mindset is often seen as both a strength that fueled his rise and a factor that can complicate how his wealth and resources are managed over time.
Before I can take care of anyone outside the home, I must take care of home first. So what I believe in every day is I I strengthen my children and my family by giving them wisdom about life. In the boxing world, my dad taught me also, the less you get hit, the longer you can last in the sport of boxing. That's anything in life. For a person that's working a 9 to 5, an everyday job, you want to take as less punishment as possible on that job so you can last a very long time and feed your family. And then my dad also taught me this. It's never good enough, no matter what. It's never good enough.
Floyd Mayweather recently drew media attention after stating that he had taken part in a charitable gesture in Los Angeles. The announcement quickly circulated online and became a topic of discussion among fans and commentators. As a result, the incident added another layer to the broader conversation about Mayweather's public image, his financial dealings, and how his actions are interpreted in relation to recent reports.
Yes, I got a casino. SL Green is a company that I've been working with for so many years. And Andrew Mathias, great business guy. This is what he told me one day. We took a walk. We was in New York. We was taking a walk. He said, "You see that building right there?" He said, "Yeah." We said, "We own that. You see this building? We own it." So we was walking and walking. Then he said, a boxer makes money when he boxing. A football player makes money when he playing football. Basketball player makes money when he playing basketball. He said, but New York real estate, you make money when you sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So
yes. That's a bar. That's a big one.
So I said, okay. So I started off something small with him in the beginning. I started off probably.
That's all for today's video. Make sure you stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one.